All right, so now that I'm back home, well, as you can see, here's my video camera hooked up to my TV. That's how I can see what I'm going to do. I have to aim this down. Oh, actually, I'm gonna have to move it. Period. But this is going to be switched to back over there. Anyways, why am I showing you that? But that's going to be for when I do the sigil. I'm preparing for right now. But since I just did 2 videos, I'm going to wrap it up with a third to say that just to just be well, don't be anything, be whatever you want, do whatever you want, but I'm going to be starting that video very shortly, the sigil, and I'm going to do the candle. Previously already did. Anyways, pointless to talk about the same shit over and over again. But so what I want to say is that everything I was just talking about, fucking from Palladians and reptilians to the whole drug affinity. People have, a gravitational pull to doing drugs. Sometimes it's not even because they have a bad past. Like I said, my parents are probably the greatest parents you could have. Obviously, they're flawed. Everybody is. But, as far as childhood goes, I had a great one, and I still got pulled into doing drugs. And my sister, growing up, is the polar opposite of me. I don't even think she swore. Like maybe around 16, she might have said shit and stuff like that, but not often. She never felt the need to swear or want to swear, whereas I was type of would swear as soon as I could and had to hide it from my parents. And obviously that was problematic, but that's my point. We were polar opposites, She's an Aries and I'm a Taurus, which is fire and earth. There actually are the opposites. Aries is male, Taurus is female. My sister is female, but I'm male. Once again, that whole polarity shift, She's got the more male energy in a female body, and I've got more female energy in a male body. You know what I mean? You can maybe even say that about my parents, but the point I'm trying to get at is there's no reason for me to want to do drugs, crave them, or anything like that. Yet I did them. I had problems with them. So that's kind of my point. Wow. Sorry, look at my eyes. That's kind of my point is anybody, like I said, open invitation. Anybody wants to send me a message, comment. You want to do it unanimously. I mean, you can always send a text. The phone number, I think it's on YouTube. It's definitely attached to my speaker account. My Gmail is on here. It's attached there. It's attached to my speaker account. Just Corey, period, LeBlanc. 4 1s for 11/11, which my birthday is the 11th of May, which adds up, 5 and 11 is 7, great number. But, Corey.leblanc1111 at gmail.com is the best way to, send me a message there. My phone number is attached to my webpage. My webpage is ceremonialwitchcraft.com. And I think between the 2 words, I don't know, I can't remember if I hyphenated it or not now. I think it's just all one word. Anyways, but if you hit the call or the message on there, I don't normally get it. This is not working right, or if it comes through as something weird through the WhatsApp. So anyways, big fucking problems I got. But seriously, anybody needs to talk about this, or if they have a loved one who's fighting with drugs and they want to understand maybe a little bit more why the person does what they do, I'm more than happy, and I would welcome a chance to try to describe their angle, because people who have an addiction issue, they could have all the great intentions in the world, but once they get high, or they need to get high, or whatever the case is, because their body's craving it, and it's like these urges just take control of you, then sometimes it's hard to understand why someone who loves you, says they love you, maybe they want to marry you, maybe it's your child, they do everything for you one day, and the next day they're totally gone, they have like no soul, they'll steal, do all these terrible things. Maybe you need to understand that a little better. Well, I can shed a little bit of light on why that happens, both from a psychological, biology, chemistry level, and from the actual point of view of the addict, and why they seem to be so cold sometimes, and it's not necessarily the truth, but they're very afraid and scared, and obviously don't want you to know that, and try to pretend everything's okay, and they know if they just get high again, everything will feel okay. But anyways, so if anybody needs to talk, or wants to talk, or is curious, or has any questions, by all means, there's one thing I know is learning from our experiences is something we should all be sharing with each other. Not forcing upon anybody, but helping and learning and growing and sharing together. Because something somebody else has already been through that you're going through could be a lot easier if you have their knowledge. That whole saying, well, if I only knew then what I know now. Well, here's how you know now when you're in the then. whenever you're in the present moment and you need the future knowledge. How do you get future knowledge in the present moment? Well, you ask somebody who's already been fucking through it. And when someone's already been through something, you now have future knowledge in the present tense, which is perfect, which is what you need to do. That's what everybody needs to do. That's what learning is it not? When you go into school as a kid, technically you're learning from people who already went to school, which qualifies everybody to be a teacher, not just teachers, but teachers are more so qualified because they learn how to present the curriculum in whatever specific way they want to present it, and maybe how to deal with children, and so on and so forth, whatever the reasons are. But point is, someone who's already done a job can teach you how to do the job. And that's how people train you for a job. That's how you learn to go to school. That's how your parents teach you how to do dishes and other chores around the house and how to babysit and shit like that. It's because they know how to do it, because they've done it, and they're teaching you how to do it. You're getting the present, you're getting future knowledge that you need for the present now. And hopefully, in most cases, you get time to learn this thing whenever it's not rushed. But in some cases, you get shot just in the moment without the knowledge. And then you have to work on your feet or improvise, or whatever the case is. And that's where you need your intuition to come in. But we don't need to be working on intuition if there's people that already have present knowledge that can shed light on things. But when someone's shedding light on something and it doesn't feel right, if your intuition is screaming at you that this isn't good, don't be listening to this dude. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Or it could not even be that. It could be your intuition telling you to not listen to this yet because you're not ready for it. So it doesn't always mean somebody's fake. Like I said a long time ago, I was going to start a YouTube channel and just got picking out the fake spiritual people from the real spiritual people. And then I'm like, wow, who justifies me to be able to do that fucking job? Who says I know the fucking ultimate way? Like I was gonna say, here's 10 signs that you know someone's fake, and like just stupidity, you know what I mean? And I realized that was just something that I need to work out. And now I would never dream about doing that. And now I came on here and told people my opinion of what I think fake information is and why it's dished out. But I try my best not to say names unless I really think someone should stop watching somebody, or if they've already been called out on said thing. But to be honest, I try to stay away from that. Like I said earlier, because he's just started a fucking conspiracy. Like I said, the 2012 Olympics, I'll put the link below for that video, and it's in my playlist as my watch playlist. I'm definitely not going to like that video. And here's a caution I'm going to give you before watching that. I can't tell you if it was a fucking mass ritual using everybody's energy and putting it into a virus, killing everybody, or trying to make everybody sick, or whatever the case is. But if there is such a thing as that, if there is powerful groups that can do that, which I'm not going to say there isn't, because how can I know that? And in all honesty, that I've seen this power be abused before, so it's definitely likely. And the way they set that thing up, I watched the whole opening ceremony for 2012. It was like almost 4 hours long. It was a whole British Industrial Revolution that leads up to right now, where everybody's getting sick from this virus, almost like saying we caused it in some sense. Anyways, it's very, because I needed some context, right? I saw all that. I saw the whole pandemic thing, and pandemonium was kind of was what they actually called it, which is kind of a weird thing. What's a pandemic? Well, when you add pandemonium to panic, and you get a pandemic. But it was pretty. It was enlightening to see that, because I needed to know, like, okay, well, maybe this is out of context. Maybe what's playing out here doesn't have anything to do with the coronavirus, and there's some play or something involved, but not so much the case. So check it out for yourself. But be warned, if you're not a magician, if you're not a practicing witch, and even if you are those things, that's great. That means you're using protection, you're doing lesser banishings, you're taking back your mind. So you are in semi-control of your mind. So you're fine. But anybody who's not, don't watch this. There could be an egregore attached to it. There could be a thought form attached to it. There could be anything attached to it. For all I know, today, everybody getting sick, everybody dying from coronavirus, everybody who gets it versus people that don't, could be everybody in the world who watched that fucking thing, who watched that show when the 2012 Olympics happened. Could be one of the reasons why barely any kids get sick, because not too many of the kids were around in 2012, you know what I mean? And if they were, they definitely weren't watching the opening games of the Olympics. I'm just saying. But this is how you start a conspiracy, because right now it's 2012 in Ethiopia. This game's happened in 2012. Everybody who watched it could be getting sick, or they could have released this ritual, putting energy into this virus, and after 8 years of collecting enough energy, it's now strong enough to take over people's minds to the point where no one can stop it. except for people that practice magic, who are magicians, who know thought forms and are at the level of creating a thought form and not at the cause. Sorry, that's the thought form's a thought cause. It affects you, and effectively your effect is you getting sick. So meaning someone else causes something for you to get sick, which is the effect. Whereas I'm at the cause. Something can't affect me. This is one of the biggest benefits of practicing magic, of doing the law of attraction stuff properly, though, not just trying to will stuff into your mind all just hunky-dory, thinking about something a lot consciously and thinking it's going to happen. Well, that's not what you do completely, and that's what I go over on this channel. That's what I'm trying to teach specifically, and telling you the additional practices that protect you and keep you safe and speed up the process and make things work better for you and give you the discipline to only manifest things when you want to manifest things, and not just think about something in the moment when you're possessed by one of these forces, planets, gods, whatever you want to call them. Whenever you're in a very loving state and you decide you want to give all your money away to somebody, and the next day you got nothing to fucking live. Or whenever you're all pissed off because someone fucked you over, you wish death on somebody and something bad doesn't happen. Because that can even come over a practicing magician. But hopefully when the practicing magician or witch is in a well, neutral, balanced state, they created programming in their mind that they only manifest things in a certain state, in a certain place, at a certain time, with certain specific criteria present. And any other time, it cannot happen. And this way, you only do what you want when you want it, not whenever you think you're in control, when something else is in control. That's why these things have been deified. That's why these things have been personified, because all these spirits, all these energies, all these deities, all these things that the planets, Venus being love, Mars being your passion, but you can be full of rage too, and passion comes with rage. What's a crime with passion? Well, it's when you're so much filled with rage because someone you were passionate about, that you thought you loved, fucking stabs you in the fucking heart while fucking sucking some other guy's dick or eating another girl's pussy, and then you end up killing them. You get a lighter sentence because of it, because the courts even know that these fucking forces can rule us instead of the other way around. Most people are ruled by these forces, and they do not control these things. The only way to get some kind of control, because you probably can't have complete control, but any way to get some kind of control over the elements, over the planets, over the forces that make us up. Got these 7 forces throughout your body, probably way more, but this is like the first level of understanding. 7 forces throughout your body that rule you, from Pisces to Aries, feet to head, okay? From Jupiter to fucking the moon or sun or whoever you think is your top chakra, it doesn't matter, but and you get to pick that if you want. Don't make sure it's backed up by some sound reason, but those things rule you, and depending on how you feel, what thoughts you allow into your mind, they can bring you down a path that you don't want to be, or bring you down a path you do want to be. Energy is just energy. They want to feel some kind of polarity. So you pick what you want to do. You pick the polarity, the route you want to go on. You get to pick, not these things. But the court system understands that someone can see something like that, and the passion part of their body can turn into rage and want to kill the person that just stomped on their heart, spit on their fucking heart, pissed and shit on their fucking heart, and it makes them kill you. So you get a lighter sentence because of that, because killing is not killing. Killing is still killing, but it's on a whole different level whenever this comes into effect. It's not premeditated. It's just not out of, sitting in your own, stewing in your own fucking pissed off anger, jealousy, rage, and insufficient fucking capabilities to do what the person you're jealous of is doing, even though you could, and stewing in that, and then thinking, using all your creative energy to think of a way to kill this person. Then you get a premeditated charge. But whenever it's inspired and impulsive due to something you weren't supposed to see, and then you come into this light and knowledge that the person you thought you loved and were going to marry, or maybe you were married to, or is dating, has just done the ultimate worst thing they could do to you. And so therefore you are almost justified by killing them. Obviously not, because you still go to jail, but they understand that this force is something more than a human is capable to deal with. And I'm saying no, it is if you're uninformed But there is a way to deal with it, and it's through what I teach and everybody else I promote teaches.